back in the Ice Age, this massive glacier formed that that came through like this mountain range above it, and this glacier formed. Then when it warmed, this huge lake would form a bunch of water behind the glacier, and the glacier was so massive, and somehow the water pressure was so high at the bottom of this lake toward the glacier that it caused the glacier to literally instantaneously explode and release all this water suddenly. And it happened multiple times during history. And they showed this really cool thing of, where they suddenly, one end was water and the other end was sand and everything. And you release the water suddenly and you get all that gnarled, damage in the land. It's just, I don't know why that documentary stuck with me.
I want to watch it. I'm listening to you. I'm going to show him a picture. So it's like a mini Grand Canyon. So then as I was planning this trip, I started looking at distances and realizing how far everything was. And then it just sort of morphed from there on. Okay, I learned this much now, learned this much. And I had a window of time to go before we've got Parents Weekend in Athens this weekend. And then Monday, jump on a plane to Spain. Originally, I also had southern Utah with Moab and all the red rocks in there. And Lisa was going to fly out for that. And then I realized the scope of the trip was too big. So I de-scoped Moab and I de-scoped Lisa.
So I picture, this is what I picture. You sat down and spent 100 hours planning every moment of where you're going to be and what's the distance and the average mile and everything else, and mapped every day of this trip. Is that the way it went, or did you just...
No, that's not... I can see why one would think I would do that. But on trips like this, I do more of a framework. And then there is intentional play or leeway within the framework. So I have specific targets, and I knew I needed to be in Montana to pick up my buddy Mac at the airport. But other than that, do I spend one extra day in the Badlands and then drive all night to see him? That's where there's play.
Yeah. Well, probably the best trip ever I was ever on. Mary and I went to Italy, right after, this was springtime of 2004. And as part of the trip, rented a car in Florence with absolutely no plan. We're just going to drive through Tuscany. We would just drive, and then once it started getting dark, we would look for the hotel signs, restaurant signs, and just, when it's time to spend the night, we'd spend the night. And a couple times we just ended up spending 3 days, like in Montecino, spent 3 days there, spent 2 days in Montepulciano, or however they pronounce all those, cities. Just had a great time.
Yeah, that's a great area to do that because there's a lot of little towns, very quaint, and it's not too far.
Yeah.
Before you get to see a lot more stuff, and the food is great, and the wine is great. So.
Spectacular. Then, just remember this one town we came into. We can't read the road signs, right? And next thing you know, I am literally in the middle. Those towns have these big squares, where the church is on one end and everything else. I don't know how I ended up there, but I was literally in the middle of one of these squares, just surrounded with people in my car, the only car around. Just, excuse me, pardon me, let me get through.
1,000 mopeds.
What's that?
1,000 mopeds with a bunch of mopeds running around.
No, this was nothing but pedestrian. I probably, totally illegal for me to be
Right.
there.
But no car was allowed, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me as well. So I got into a little town in Italy also, and I was driving around with a rental car. And then it got to a point that a car wouldn't fit because the street was so narrow. So obviously not designed for cars. So back out.
Yeah.
I rented this Ford Fiesta. It was a stick shift, right? Never forget Montepulciano. Okay, town. I think that's town on top of mountain, something like that. I came up to this stop sign, and the road was like this, And then, of course, the guy behind me just right on my bumper.
Right. Pedestrian's another car. You're putting the handbrake on, trying to.
And what I ended up doing was this little car. It's so embarrassing. Everybody's like looking at me in this intersection. Pop the clutch, just slam the accelerator, and the car not only started to spin, but started to smoke. To try to keep from backing into the
You don't want to
guy
stop.
behind me.
Yeah, oh, it's nerve-wracking. You know exactly what we're talking about. Lisa, on her recent trip to Italy, she had a Fiat 500 little car, stick shift. And she's owned 2 different stick shift cars, but it's been a long time since she's driven one.
Yeah.
And the very first thing, the only real question she had was in the rental car lock. Normally you push down or something real extreme for a reverse. You have to pull up on this cliff to pull up. And it wasn't obvious, and she had to ask the guy, where the heck is reverse?
It took me forever to figure out. Meryl bought a Q5, brand new Audi, right? Foolish car for a young person. I couldn't figure out how to put it in park, reverse, or drive. It's just this little mini stick shift
That's right.
that's right there, and I'm like moving it all over. Yeah, reverse, forward, drive.
Yeah, because it's
What the hell?
situation sensitive. Yeah, Angie has a Q5 and it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Q5 is the Audi cousin to my car.
yeah. But you're still loving your car. You probably doubled the mileage on it just in this trip.
Well, when I bought it, it had 30. Now it has 40.
Got it.
Well, my most challenging stick shift story is I was renting a car in Europe and went to France, got the car into the Channel train, and went on the Channel to England.
Yeah.
And then
Channel.
you get out, and so everything is driving on the opposite side. But it was not only a stick shift, but
Right,
I'm sitting
wrong side.
on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Right.
That's
They
a
don't
nightmare.
give you any instructions or anything. It's just like go. And so for the first few times on the roundabouts, I was like, oh, okay. It was a challenge.
Oh,
It is.
Eventually, I got it. And
I've only been in England once, and we did have a rental car. So, somewhat similar story. Went from London out to Stonehenge. So we're going out in the country, and there's a roundabout, a circle. And I didn't know, confusing. You're on the wrong side, other side of the road. So I told Lisa, I said, I'm just following this truck, lorry as they call it, to get out of this circle, and then I'll recompose because I'm not sure what to do. And luckily, the truck was going the same route we were.
oh wow.
But I thought, I'm just following it to safety.
Mm-hmm.
it was a challenge.
I followed some trucks late at night on my first day of driving out west. That was my longest trip, was 700 miles. I'd never driven 700 miles before in a day.
Oh wow.
And I know you've done all-night trips to Ohio. And 2 different times I saw a deer thinking about crossing the road. And a lot of the vehicles have huge grill guards. The 18-wheelers all have big grill guards. So I just tucked in behind an 18-wheeler and let him run blocker for me.
Yeah, I used to do that in college for gas mileage, draft semis. Get right behind them and just stay there.
Right.
I remember I once got like 46 miles to the gallon in my 1978 Datsun B210 doing that.
Oh, nice.
You want some more mashed potatoes? You want some of the food?
No, it's good, it's good. Yeah, now that I'm going to the office 2 or 3 days a week, they do a great job with the desserts there. So every time, when I wasn't there today, but I have to cut down on the desserts because they do a great job there.
Even though you wanted the banana pudding.
Oh, well, I did ask about it, right? Mm-hmm. You can see that it's good that they didn't have it, so that way I don't have to think about it. Right?
What is it? What is it?
What's that, Chester?
What is that?
Where he works, they have desserts. I guess free desserts in the office. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where he works, they have free desserts in the office. So he has to watch how many sweets he eats.
It's good, they're good desserts.
So, I think you lost a little weight. Have you lost weight?
About the same. And so, speaking about going to the office, after 36 years, I'm going to an office every day. 2 weeks ago, I am now working from home.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Is that your choice?
Yes. I was renting this office, it's an enterprise office, but it was just this room in the back. I just felt claustrophobic, and which I needed to just focus during the transition. But I was, for me and my assistant, I was paying $1,200 for rental for these things, right? And I'm like, I hate it here. It's just like dark and everything. So I'm like, why don't I try this? Just go from home. So I cut the rent, and I still have to rent some space there for conference rooms and stuff.
Client meetings.
Yeah. So got my rent down to $300. Just started working from home. Yeah, saving $900 a month. But nothing wrong with that.
Nope. You have a dedicated office at home?
Yeah. So now that Merrill's out, one of our 6 bedrooms, I've just converted it into an office. Have it all set up. And I have a window. That makes all the difference.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, wow, I should have done this before.
It makes a difference when you have your space. Yeah, we converted that space at the attic to an office, and it has a door. Like having a space where you have a door, that makes a big difference.
Now my problem is, I like to get up. I go straight to the kitchen.
Have a snack here. Have a snack there.
eating.
A lot more eating. So I'm a bit worried. Like today I went and got chips. I was like, something salty. It would be really nice. Ate a bowl full of chips. I'm like, that's probably 175 calories.
Yep.
For absolutely no reason.
So what are we doing about the Vermont trip? It keeps getting postponed, so...
Hey, yeah.
I guess it's October of next year.
Next fall, right?
October, next year. That was so frustrating. Ashley was so bummed when she found out what weekend. I can't tell you, she was over the top excited about that thing. And so any other weekend next year except for that weekend. And it also turns out that...
Are you all done with this and you want it like this?
Chester, you want any mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes, coleslaw.
Mashed potatoes, but coleslaw.
Yeah,
You want some
Coleslaw too, please?
just mashed potatoes.
mashed potatoes?
All right.
Thanks.
It'll be to your right. Let's see, where's your fork? Here's the fork for you. There's a fork for you. Right hand.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You want a knife or are you just going to do it one-handed? One-handed, probably.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Thanks.
Hey. So, I need your opinion on this, okay? Speaking of that weekend, April 26th. So that is Ashley's nephew's wedding. All right?
Ashley's nephew, okay?
Yes. Just found out that is also Claire and Sophia's senior prom. Where do I go?
And their wedding is not here.
No, it's Amelia Island.
Well, you don't go to the prom. What you'd have to be is at the picture photo party.
photo. We have to be the photo party and everything. I have to be in Amelia Island. If I'm going to the wedding, I have to be there
No, for the prom. Oh, you can't go to the prom photo because the
I'll be-
wedding's in Amelia Island. Yeah, right, sorry, I need to just shut up and consume what you're saying.
Yeah. So what do I do?
You girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because this is not a close relative, and
Ashley goes to the wedding and you stay here for the girls.
Yep. So that's what I told Ashley. She's mom, but she understands. Like,
That's what you gotta do.
yeah.
You can't miss your immediate family, like Amanda said. That's a cheeseburger.
Yep.
Good.
Right.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Steak fries always good.
Oh yeah. Always great.
Never thought of the White House as being a great burger joint, but apparently it is, huh?
they seem to also do a great job at breakfast. Like I saw a lot of people order breakfast
Yeah.
kind of food for lunch.
This I understand is right up there with the OK Cafe as being the power breakfast spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've certainly had breakfast at the OK Cafe.
Yeah.
Used to go to, what's it called? It's near Perimeter Mall. It's near REI. Begins with an M. For high tech, that's for technology. That's where a lot of salespeople would meet.
It's not that
And
French
a lot of interviews.
restaurant, La Madeleine.
Yes, it is that.
Oh, okay.
That was a lot of technology. People would have breakfast there, meetings, interviews. In fact, you had to be careful with an interview because you might know somebody there. It's like, no, this isn't
That
it.
knows you or
Yeah.
knows the company. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Chester, next time you talk to Brent, tell him I said hello.
I'll tell him.
He plays guitar because I know he played my guitar one time when you guys were at our house. It was over like New Year's Day, or it was right around holidays because Lisa had that big ham. She told that story just the other day. She had a big ham, big spiral cut ham, which we don't normally have at our house. And we're relatively small, medium family. And so Chester and another friend of his, Brent, were coming over. And she said, "Oh, good, I got all this ham I'll get eat." So I pick up Brent and Chester. We're driving from his place to mine. And they both share with me that neither one of them eats ham. Because it's a bottom feeder animal.
Oh, yes, I am
So I
done.
call Lisa and I said, "Guess what? The boys aren't eating the ham."
More ham for us.
So she scrounged up some different vegetables and some sort of, she had some sort of, what do you call it, like a potato casserole or something. So you didn't go hungry, but you didn't eat the ham. You remember that, Chester? It was at my house, and it was over holiday, Christmas holiday, or New Year's.
Yeah, what year?
Oh, a long time ago, probably 10 years ago.
Nothing left, Chester.
Yep.
You two have known each other that long? 10 years?
We've known each other. We just were talking about it. We've known each other. What did we say? 17?
Yep,
16.
2006.
16 years.
15 years. Yeah. Wow.
It's a long time.
How do you first met?
We met at not Buckhead Church, Peachtree Road, United Methodist, which is just up the road. And Lisa was helping with Sunday school.
Yeah, I'll have one more. That'd be great.
And I was sitting by myself.
Yeah.
And somebody escorted Chester in, and it was a row either in front of me or behind me, probably in front of me. And the lady walking with Chester, or the man, asked this lady who appeared to be sitting by herself, "Can Chester join you?" She goes, "No, this seat's taken. I'm waiting for my husband." And I said, "Hey, sit with me." That's how we met.
Awesome.
Is that the way you remember it, Chester?
I guess I don't remember how exactly.
A little more detail than you remember, huh?
Well, we've joined a married group at Bucket Church. Is this program called Thrive?
Keep a little bit of salt and pepper on my potatoes, please.
Sure. There you go. There's the salt. A little bit of salt and pepper, huh?
Yeah.
Thrive. It's an 8-week program.
You started yet?
Come on now, pepper.
Oh, last night. I said, okay, so you really
You
don't.
like a lot
I
of
don't
pepper?
have- What's your early
I know you like a lot of
It's an
salt.
interesting group.
A little
I mean,
bit.
there's 3 couples
Okay,
that have been
I'll
married
try
over
that.
20 years.
Thanks.
Let me know if
3 couples
that's
that have
enough.
been married around a year,
Okay.
and another one in between. So it's like a lot of years, very new, and one in between. So
Nice.
it's
that good?
interesting,
Yeah.
interesting
Oh,
mix of
excellent.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're an interesting in between because you've certainly been married for several years. And you're not
Yeah.
you're not an inexperienced newlywed.
Yeah. By the
Although
way,
Angie is.
finally, my court date. They gave us a new court date. September 12th with my ex. You know that process it's 2.5 years ago. We had a court date for a final hearing. It got canceled because of the pandemic. We finally got called on September 12th. I went. My lawyer went. My ex and her lawyer did not show up.
Come on.
So
So was
should be
that
to your
good
favor.
for you, or?
Well, I mean, she had filed a counterclaims versus what I submitted, so the judge dismissed all their claims.
Uh-huh.
But here we are, like another, many thousands of dollars. Janine, she got married, she had a baby, she's now pregnant again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess that's worked out for her. But
You still use her? or-
yeah. She's still, representing me, and I'm just tired of spending double some money on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to settle with her in some way or form, but
Thank you.
there was one of the things that in the settlement offer says, like each parent should not disparage the other parent or say anything negative, and should not tell the child, which is the youngest, that they do not need to come do visitation or something to that effect. And when she looked at that and returned it, she crossed all that over.
She doesn't get to redline.
Yeah. Jeez.
But the interesting part of it is you can see she has already been telling him that when you become 14 you don't need to go see your dad anymore, blah blah blah. And so, yeah, so that's still she would not let it go.
That
Yeah.
stinks.
And it's making it hard because now we have a grandson and we don't rarely see him because she babysits for them, and so she's told them, you either come with me or come see your dad. So pick. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
yeah. So,
I have a meeting with my niece at 2:00 this afternoon.
about what?
Well, it's specifically about the pension. So in the settlement, I had to quadro my pension too. And she's turning 60 this year,
Oh,
and she has questions about pension. Which I'm like, don't ask me. Here's the pension number. She couldn't find it. So, well, I'll try to help you. The problem is like.
but isn't it based on your age? It's her age? Does it have anything?
Yeah, it's
to do with
based on my age. I'm sure all of her questions are, well, can I take it early? And I can explain all that to her. But I basically never engage with her because every time I do, I regret having engaged, if you know what I mean. Now, we're cordial, with the girls and everything, but she just constantly tries. I'm only saying this because Gary's not here. Says Gary's constantly tries to squeeze, and complain. Now she's trying to get me to pay. The split 70-30, she's trying to get me to pay everything. I'm like, I'm already paying way more, that I'm not even charging you, but she.
Yeah.
And it's also coming up. The girls turn 18 in March.
So that's over for you.
It's over. So her activity to try to get more out of me is just really starting to rise up. And I just have to, no.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point she wanted to meet on this. So I'm sure she had a long agenda.
Oh boy. I hope it goes well. I know that's never a pleasant conversation. Yeah, with me, I was also giving her more money than I needed to, but she was just, discouraging me with the kids and
Yeah.
isolating them and all of that. So that was one of the early decisions from the court. They allowed me to bring all my opinions to what the state mandates only. So that's what I've been doing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. I was just telling him I'm meeting with Mary at 2 this afternoon.
Yeah, about what?
Because the pension, so I quadroed my pension over to her through the divorce. And so I'm sure she's wondering, well, when can I start it and everything else.
Okay.
So I'm trying to help her out with that. But
How long were you married?
let's see, I was married 27 years the first time. It's quite a while, huh?
Yeah.
So this is not a coincidence, I guess. Well, I don't know what you want to call it, but this is going to sound really weird, because it is weird.
Uh-huh.
So just this morning, and it's the only time Mary was in my dream. Not associated with me, but in my dream, Mary, your Mary, was in a movie. And in the dream, we were shooting there was a movie being made like in our neighborhood or somewhere close by. And it was Mary, and she was the love interest female side, and there was a love interest male, sort of a rom-com kind of thing.
Sure.
I don't know who the guy was.
Uh-huh.
And then I either wasn't in it or I had some smaller bit part, and I was wondering, Mary, how did you get in the movie? And she was doing a good job. It was all just a positive, weird dream that she was the co-star of a rom-com. I haven't even talked to Mary in a long time. I don't know where in the world that came from.
Wow.
Well, maybe you need to interpret that dream before 2 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, how could you even start to interpret it?
Wow, that's something. Yeah?
I didn't go try out for a movie. I didn't have a conversation with Mary where she was trying out for a movie. No rom-com being shot in Atlanta discussion was had with me and anybody.
That's bizarre.
That's interesting. I don't know. I mean,
Like I said, it wasn't
that subconscious is like you can't explain it.
Usually I can come up with something like, oh, you were stressed out about pesticides and therefore you had poison in your dream.
Or watch something, right? Or somebody said something.
Yeah, nothing. I didn't watch anything about local movies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch something about Mary. And there's no connection whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
So
That is
weird.
bizarre. Yeah, go figure.
Really bizarre. I mean, Lisa will tell me the rare times she remembers her dream, she'll tell me and go, oh, that sounds like because of,
Yeah.
you were
But this
stressed
is-
out about the
So
outcome.
the only connection is you were having lunch with me today.
Yeah,
That would be it.
yeah, I knew that. I knew I was having lunch with Right. That's the only connection I can think of.
That's wild.
The only other thing is I heard a dog barking about 3 days ago, and it sounded like Jill, and then I remembered that Jill had died. And I told Lisa, I said, oh, I heard a dog the other day, and I was thinking of Jill. Oh, yeah, I was really sad because Jill's not around anymore. That's the only other. And there was no dog, no Jill in the dream, in the movie dream. Really weird.
Interesting. But the
Having
other.
enough fries,
I did.
Chester? Okay.
Nice.
You like the mashed potatoes too, huh?
Yeah.
Which were better, the fries or the potatoes? Or the mashed potatoes, I should say.
Both were really great.
Both of them were great. Yeah.
He doesn't
Something
like
about
chips.
the potato. It's like one of the best foods.
Are you Irish,
ever.
Chester? Do you have any Irish in you? Irish
No.
potatoes. The Irish like potatoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They all came over here in potato family. I remember when I went to Ireland, the joke over there was, there are 40 million Irish over there and only 4 million here. So just exported. Their greatest export is its people. Their people. And they loved Bill Clinton. They thought he was the greatest president of all time because he's Irish.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
He did something.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you probably got to get back to work.
Yeah, I've been I'm glad that we got a chance to meet. Whatever opportunity. I mean, I would like to play more golf, and I would like to do other things.
Welcome, man.
It's kind of challenging.
Speaking of golf, my schedule's settled down. So, when do you want to play golf?
So with you, I take it with you two guys, it's weekend, so.
Well, it could be like a Friday afternoon.
I'm thinking Friday afternoon.
It could be like slower, so we could plan it a little ahead. I think we can manage.
So, third, fourth week of October kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm at a point now, right? I'm realizing I maybe really only have to work 20 to 30 hours a week. I may actually start taking Fridays off, you know?
Oh, wow.
So now, Friday afternoon for sure, maybe not the whole day committed, but, you know. if,
Well, I'm playing tomorrow morning, and then I'm gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so let's look at
ours is
maybe
here.
a Friday.
And you guys may want to play before I get back.
No, it's all right. I mean,
No,
we can,
I'm
we can
anxious
do
to
it
get up.
together.
what do you want to just,
I'll get Chester's in mind.
yeah, just split it two ways. It's easy.
Where do y'all play golf?
What's that?
Where do y'all play golf?
You sure?
We all play golf, not well.
No,
Well,
fine.
you know, apparently he's got like a 2 handicap. But
So, we have the golf tournament at work on the 11th. So, I mean, I don't know if I told you this story, but last year, I don't play very often, but I won
Benji played.
the longest drive, the straightest drive, and closest to
Okay,
the
thank you.
pin.
And then just divided 3 ways.
And everybody's like,
Thank you.
Like, well, sometimes I hit it well, and that's fine. But the problem is I don't hit it consistently well because I don't play often.
Right.
But yeah, everybody was surprised. Like, well, we didn't know you were a golfer. Like, I'm not, but it worked out today. That yeah.
Did we play at Chastain, or where did we play?
Chastain,
no, let's Chastain it. I think Chastain's great.
yeah,
And you're a full-fledged member, so you can get us
Full-fledged
on
member.
any time.
yeah.
Give me
What
my
was your
parking
name
spot.
again?
Armando.
Armando here?
Yeah, Armando Ruiz.
How do you do that? That rolling of the R.
It's a-
South Bridges.
Yeah, well, you need to practice your R's for Spain.
That's right.
Yeah,
In Sevilla. Not L, Sevilla.
yeah, double L, so it's G sound.
And Córdoba, not Córdoba.
Córdoba.
Córdoba, por supuesto.
Yeah. Well, the whole southern part of Spain is really, really pretty. So yeah, you have a lot of places to go around. You know, one of my favorite places in Spain. I don't know if you like Salvador Dali,
Yeah.
the painter.
Yeah, with the drooping clocks.
That's
The dripping clocks.
That's right. Yeah, he does a lot of that. But he designed and built his own museum in the city that he was born,
Where's that?
which is it's very close to Madrid. So if you have a little bit of time, this is a really interesting museum because he built up this place. Like, this is a whole room, has a lot of pieces and things. You don't know what it is, but you walk and look through mirrors, and the room becomes.
Oh, yeah, we'll
something.
check it out. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting place.
So I know some basics. The Puente por favor, Contra Costa,
Is everything all right?
Cervezas.
You good, Chester?
Arno.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Thought you had a question or something.
You know those things.
Holy cow, Chester.
Why, right?
Do you have the new iPhone 14 on you?
No.
No, that's a nice looking phone, though.
iPhone 13,
You got the 13? That's the 13 Pro.
13 Pro Max.
Whoa. 13 Pro Max? See, I just have the 13. Nothing. Yeah, I see you have the super duper camera and everything else. Holy cow.
Thank you.
Oh, the 13 Pro Max there, man.
He's always tricked out. He's got his other phone here too.
Oh. Whoa.
It's hard to keep up with Chester, man.
With the OtterBox and everything else, man. That is nice.
Thanks.
Woo.
So Salvador Dali.
You are
Museum.
cutting
What's it
edge,
actually called?
Chester. Cutting
I'll see
edge.
it next.
I am so impressed.
Oh, the Dali Theater Museum. Okay.
See, I have the 13,
Yeah, there's a lot
but
of so there's
nothing like what
the
you're
place
sporting.
where Picasso was born is in southern Spain, Malaga. Not too far away from Córdoba. There's just so many.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me there.
Armando? How long were you married?
I was married 22 years, got 22 and a half years, got divorced, and now I've been married for a year.
Yeah. Almost exactly.
September 4th was our first year anniversary.
Ah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
so we ate cake and things. Yeah.
That cake and things. Did you travel to Europe or something to celebrate?
We went to the mountains of Georgia.
Ah,
We did like Oktoberfest.
sure.
We went to a few wineries.
Ah,
And stayed at a resort there, like that Angie had heard about but never been. So
what was the name of the resort?
Lucille Mountaintop and Spa. They have a full
Ooh.
spa.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sounds expensive.
yeah.
Take the fine time to lean in the seal. 400 children and crop in the field.
4 hungry children and crop in the field. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
can I
yeah.
have that pen?
Oh yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, just one thing.
Yeah, I love the Georgia mountains. What wineries did you go to?
We went to Cenita.
No.
It actually has a really, really nice view. But what is the other one? Is it Wolf Mountain? No,
Wolf Mountain.
Jonah Mountain. Jonah.
Oh
Jonah
yeah, I
Mountain.
like Jonah Mountain.
Yeah, and then there was another one, Serenity.
Oh,
It's
Serenity. That's my favorite spot. Man.
Oh, really? Yeah, we were there. It's all Italian style.
Yeah. So Serenity, interesting COVID story, right? Ashley and I had to get out. This was the summer of 2020, and we just drove up to Serenity thinking it was open. So I called ahead, said, "Well, sorry, we're not open, but we are taking orders for wine, and we'll bring it to your car." So over the phone, I'm just like, "Okay, well, I'll have 3 of these, 2 of those, everything else." Get there, give him my credit card. He's like, "Oh, that'll be $532."
Oh,
For like
yes.
case and a half of wine or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
God,
just
that's
a
insane.
Georgia wine there is expensive. See, this is Cenita, the deal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Need to
that's-
go there.
Yeah, I mean the wines were okay. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
ended up not buying. As you said, like some of the wines are expensive. Like
Yeah, it's
mean,
getting
Thank you very
ridiculous.
much.
I,
You signed yours,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
filling
yeah,
in.
sure. Yeah, but here's from Serenity.
Oh,
That's
cool.
about,
Yeah, sure.
they have but yeah, I mean, it was, we enjoyed, and then we went to Oktoberfest, ate, pretzels and, strudel, and we tried a lot of different German beers.
Gained a couple of pounds.
Yeah, Angie had never been to Helen, interestingly enough, but, so it was a nice little weekend thing.
Nice.
Sounds nice.
Very nice.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, I need to go that way. So, Chester, you'll go and head on out with Gary.
Well, I mean, we may
So good to see you, though.
Oktoberfest.
See you too.
Yeah.
Good to see you.